Did you know that public speaking is consistently ranked as one of the top fears worldwide? In fact, more people are afraid of speaking in public than they are of death. That's right, according to a study by the National Institute of Mental Health, about 75% of people experience anxiety when faced with speaking in front of others. But here's the good news: fear is not something you need to overcome completely. Instead, you can learn how to use it to your advantage. In this video, we'll show you how to turn your fear of public speaking into your secret weapon. From embracing your nerves to connecting deeply with your audience, we'll dive into strategies that will help you speak with confidence, even if you feel terrified. Whether you're presenting to a small group or addressing a large crowd, these tips will set you on the path to becoming a great speaker. Ready to face your fear head-on and speak with power? Let's dive in. Chapter 1: Fear is your superpower. Fear is often seen as something we need to avoid, but what if I told you fear is actually one of your greatest assets? Most great speakers don't eliminate fear, they embrace it. Fear signals that you're about to do something new, something bold, something that pushes your limits. This feeling is a sign of growth, not something to run away from. When you stand in front of an audience, your heart might race, your palms may sweat, and your stomach may flip. But guess what? That's totally normal. According to psychologist Kelly McGonigal, the body responds to fear with an adrenaline rush. Instead of thinking of this as a problem, consider it a performance enhancer. Research shows that adrenaline can actually help you focus, boost your energy, and increase your performance. Here's an interesting fact: studies show that people who reframe their fear as excitement perform better in high-stress situations. A 2010 study by Harvard social psychologist Alison Wood Brooks found that telling yourself, "I'm excited," rather than "I'm nervous," improves performance, even in public speaking. Next time fear hits, remind yourself, "This is my superpower." Your goal is not to get rid of fear, but to change how you respond to it. Instead of viewing fear as an enemy, embrace it as a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. Your fear is simply a call to action. It's a reminder that you're doing something meaningful, something that matters. Chapter 2: Transform your inner critic into your best friend. We all have that voice in our heads telling us we're not good enough. But here's the thing: your inner critic doesn't define you. It's time to reframe that voice and transform it from an enemy to an ally. This is a key strategy in overcoming fear. Start by recognizing that everyone has doubts. In fact, 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point, according to the International Journal of Behavioral Science. That means even the most successful speakers have moments of self-doubt. The key is not to silence that voice, but to change the way you respond to it. Try this simple exercise: when you hear the voice saying, "You're not good enough to speak here," respond with, "I have a unique perspective, and my audience is here to hear it." Instead of letting that inner critic hold you back, use it as motivation to speak more confidently. This subtle shift will rewire your brain to approach fear with a more positive mindset. It's also helpful to practice self-compassion. According to Dr. Kristen Neff, a pioneer in self-compassion research, treating yourself with kindness during stressful moments can reduce anxiety and improve overall performance. So, when that self-doubt creeps in, be kind to yourself. Tell yourself, "It's okay to feel this way, it's part of the process." Lastly, visualize success. Before stepping on stage, take a moment to picture yourself speaking confidently. This mental rehearsal activates the same areas of the brain as actually doing the activity, which helps reduce fear. The more you do this, the more you'll start to believe in your own abilities. Chapter 3: The stage is a playground, not a battlefield. We often see public speaking as a battlefield, with the audience as critics just waiting to judge our every move. But what if we reframe the stage as a playground, where the goal is to have fun and connect with others? This shift in mindset can drastically reduce the fear that comes with speaking. Imagine you're not standing in front of a harsh audience, but rather a group of people who are eager to hear what you have to say. This simple change in perspective can make all the difference. According to Dr. Amy Cuddy, a social psychologist and author of Presence, adopting a playful mindset before a speaking event can lower anxiety and help you perform better. She calls this adopting a power pose, or creating favorable conditions in your body before taking the stage. Another trick is to think of the audience as friends who are there to support you, not judge you. Most people are much more forgiving than we think. In fact, 90% of the time, the audience doesn't notice your mistakes unless you point them out. They're there to listen, learn, and engage, not to scrutinize. To make this concept even more powerful, consider that great speakers often use humor to disarm their audience. Humor creates a connection and breaks down barriers. It reminds the speaker and the audience that we're all human. The best speakers aren't perfect, they're authentic, relatable, and willing to have fun with their message. By viewing the stage as a playground, you allow yourself to be more present. You shift the focus from, "I have to impress them," to, "I'm here to share something valuable." This mindset reduces pressure, allowing you to speak more freely and naturally. And when you're at ease, so is the audience. Chapter 4. Fail forward. Embrace the beautiful mess. As much as we all want to be perfect, mistakes are an unavoidable part of growth. The truth is, failure is where the magic happens. It's how we learn, grow, and eventually succeed. Public speaking is no different. Embracing failure as part of the journey is a powerful strategy to overcome fear. Take a look at some of the most successful speakers in history. Did they start perfect? Absolutely not. In fact, one of the most famous public speakers, Winston Churchill, struggled with stammering early in life. But he didn't let that stop him. Instead, he learned to use his unique voice and turned it into a powerful tool. The lesson here? Embrace your imperfections and keep moving forward. Research shows that when you accept failure, it becomes easier to try new things. A study by the University of California found that people who view failure as part of the learning process are more likely to take risks and perform better in the long run. Public speaking is no different. The more you embrace mistakes, the less fear you'll have when you make them. It's all about seeing failure as a learning opportunity, not something to be ashamed of. Remember, every great speaker has had their messy moments. Steve Jobs famously stumbled during his early product launches, but it didn't stop him from becoming one of the most influential speakers of all time. By seeing your mistakes as valuable lessons, you'll gradually become more comfortable with imperfection, which will reduce fear. So, the next time you make a mistake while speaking, don't beat yourself up. Instead, laugh it off and learn from it. Your audience will respect your authenticity, and over time, you'll find that fear of failure fades away. Chapter 5. Breathe life into your words. Master your body's language. Fear isn't just something we feel in our minds, it's also something our bodies experience. That's why it's important to learn how to control your body when fear strikes. One of the most effective ways to do this is through deep breathing and mastering your body language. When you're nervous, your body tenses up, and your breath becomes shallow. This only amplifies your fear. But here's the good news: with a few simple breathing techniques, you can calm both your mind and body. Research shows that deep, slow breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps lower stress and anxiety. In fact, just a few minutes of focused breathing before a speech can drastically reduce nervousness. One powerful breathing technique is the 4-7-8 method, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. Studies have shown that this technique can significantly reduce anxiety and help speakers feel more grounded and in control. But it's not just about breathing. Your body language plays a huge role in how you feel and how your audience perceives you. According to Dr. Amy Cuddy, author of Presence, adopting open, expansive body language can actually make you feel more powerful and reduce feelings of fear. Simple actions like standing tall, making eye contact, and using your hands to emphasize points will help you look and feel more confident. Remember, your body communicates just as much as your words. When you control your body language, you send a message to yourself and your audience that you are calm, confident, and ready to speak. Chapter 6. Audience connection. From fearful to fierce. One of the most effective ways to overcome fear as a speaker is by focusing on your audience instead of yourself. The more you connect with your listeners, the less you'll feel like you're under a microscope. This strategy can help you shift from a place of fear to one of confidence. When you're nervous, it's easy to think about how others are judging you. But guess what? Most people are far more focused on what you're saying than how you're saying it. According to a study by Princeton University, audiences tend to focus more on the emotional content of your message than on your delivery. This means if you connect with them emotionally, they won't be worried about your nerves, they'll be engaged with your message. A powerful way to connect with your audience is through storytelling. Storytelling humanizes you and makes you more relatable. According to Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath, stories are memorable because they activate the brain and elicit emotional responses. When your audience connects emotionally with your story, they'll be more likely to remember your message long after your speech is over. Another way to foster connection is by being authentic. People can sense when you're being genuine. In fact, a 2018 study published in Psychological Science found that audiences are more likely to trust speakers who express authentic emotions. So, don't try to be someone you're not. Speak from the heart, and your audience will respond positively. Finally, make eye contact. It's one of the simplest yet most effective ways to create a bond with your listeners. Studies show that making eye contact increases trust and engagement. When you look your audience in the eyes, they feel like you're talking directly to them, which makes the conversation feel more personal and less intimidating. By shifting your focus to the audience and building a genuine connection, you'll reduce your fear of judgment and become a more powerful speaker. When you stop worrying about how you're being perceived and instead focus on delivering value to your listeners, you'll find that your nerves begin to melt away. If you're finding these strategies helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll keep you up to date with more tips to boost your confidence as a speaker and beyond. Keep practicing, and you'll be amazed at how much you can grow.